Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Doud here with another heaping helping of tech news for your ear holes. It's day 2 of this stupid plague, and my voice is starting to go, which means it's time to call to the bullpen, and Sam Moore will hopefully be taking the reins for the next 2 days, though I haven't confirmed that yet. I'll miss you, but there comes a time in every cold when you could push through and be miserable for a week, or you can just curl up and die for a couple of days and feel better. We're there. So, you still have me for today, and speaking of today, it is November 19th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. What is it with tech companies that think they can push out products that are not quite ripe yet? Our latest example of this is Google Stadia, which is out there and available now, and reviews are starting to filter in. Of course, before we dive into the reviews, we should talk about what Stadia is, a little refresher course. Basically, Stadia allows you to purchase a game and stream it to any internet-connected device within reason. As far as I know, you can't play Stadia games on your refrigerator, but I can see why you'd want to. Go big or go home, am I right? Right now, the only version of Stadia that is available is a paid subscription for $9.99 per month, though a free version will be coming in 2020. You still have to buy the games, BT dubs, and when you do, those games will render in the cloud and get pushed to your device, so you can play on literally anything except the aforementioned refrigerator. So now that we're all caught up, let's get into the reviews. And they're fairly mixed. There are some limitations of the service right out of the gate, and David Amell from Android Authority has a great breakdown of all the pluses and minuses of the service right out of the gate. Plus, the newsletter has a Q&A between Tristan and David that you should definitely check out. But in general, the reviews, like I said, are mixed. The biggest concern is also the most predictable concern, internet connectivity, specifically in terms of speed and data use. Most reviews are quick to point out that if your internet connection is anything less than stellar, you're going to have problems with lag. Some experienced a jankiness akin to streaming a Netflix video on 3G internet, if you remember what that was like, while others, like David, reported audio lag was the main problem. This is frankly kind of a no-brainer. You're rendering these games in the cloud and streaming a buttload of data back to your screen. So yeah, if you're hoping your 4G internet connection is going to do the job, it won't. The other not-so-obvious issue is data use. David reported that while he was playing, he was pulling down about 2.5 megabits per second of data, which comes out to 7 gigabytes of data per hour. 7 gigabytes per hour! Most internet service providers, except for mine, Wide Open West, and shout out to Wide Open West, by the way, have a data cap of around 1 terabyte. As David puts it, if you play for 3 hours per day, that's about 600 gigabytes of data, or about 60% of your data allotment just from Stadia. Do you plan to watch any Netflix this month? Okay, then you're done with your internet. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, yeah, if you're playing for 3 hours a day, sure, it'll take a lot. But when you think about the target customer of a service like Stadia, those are exactly the kind of people who will play for 3 hours every day. Now, neither of these are deal breakers, and the benefits of Stadia arguably measure up to those limitations. You can just drop down on basically any hardware and start playing Red Dead Redemption. On a Chromebook? On your phone? That's pretty awesome. Plus, you can switch between those devices seamlessly whenever you need to. It's all done in the cloud, baby. It's cool. It's the cloud. Now, this is an evolving platform, so give it time, and I'm sure a lot of these issues will be worked out. But for now, it's pretty awesome, if a bit of a data hog, to the surprise of no one. So with that, let's head into the Roundup! Speaking of gaming, Valve announced a new Half-Life game will be coming this Thursday, and Tristan seems pretty stoked about it. So, you know, I am too, because we're a team, a unit, a single mind focused on... No, not really, I'm not a gamer at all, but I understand a lot of you may be, so I'll let you all squee on my behalf. And it is a VR game, so that's a cool thing, but not for Oculus Quest though, so wah wah. Anyway, gamers rejoice, Half-Life returns on Thursday. Apple sent out an invitation to a December 2nd event, and if you're thinking that sounds weird, you're right. Apple has honored various apps, games, and music and podcasts that have been notable throughout the year in the past. I'm guessing that the Digit Daily will get snubbed for a second year in a row, but whatever. Apple has never hosted an event to do it. Our interest is piqued for sure, and we'll be disappointed if it just turns out to be some hokey awards show, not unlike Apple parading celebrities out in front of us when it announced Apple TV Plus, and please God, don't let it be that again. The folks at iFixit have their teardown of the new MacBook Pro, and the biggest takeaway I got from this was the fact that the keyboard on the new MacBook Pro is exactly the same as the Magic Keyboard. So much so that iFixit was able to install a keycap from the Magic Keyboard onto a MacBook Pro. So you see, Apple, if it ain't broke, don't iFix it. Spotify is launching a daily podcast recommendation list similar to its daily music mix that you can currently get. The algorithm will recommend podcasts to you based on listening history, and it'll include trailers, long-form podcasts, and quick news podcasts. Well, how about that? Quick news podcast. Welcome to all of our new Spotify listeners. I have to wonder about the viability of daily podcast curation. Personally, I have a staple of like 5 or 6 shows that I listen to with regularity, and another dozen or so sprinkled in for when I'm in the car for an unusually long amount of time. It's not really clear how many users will really need a new list every day, but still, welcome to all of our new Spotify listeners. It brought you here, so we're on board. Hit subscribe. And speaking of podcasting, Blue Microphone has a new Yeti X microphone that it's adding to the Yeti line of mics. The Blue Yeti has long been a favorite among podcasters and YouTubers, and the Yeti X adds a new, bigger, beefier mic to its lineup. And the SoundGuys review is up, and they like it, so you should too. And finally, this isn't really tech, but it'll leave you with a smile. 9-year-old Nandi Michele is something of a drum prodigy who has hung out with bands like Questlove and performed with Lenny Kravitz on stage. And man, does she rock out on the drums! She tweeted a video of herself playing along to Nirvana's In Bloom, which, despite being Nirvana, has a fairly complex drum section, and man, you can just feel the passion and energy coming from her in the video. It's worth a minute of your time, so check it out, link in the show notes. So that's going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about DigitDailyPod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Doud, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.